Man, you come straight out of a comic.
So the next thing that we were doing is a fantasy book. And what you are going to do, and we're going to start with Deuce, is you are going to finish the sentence. Mm-hmm. If I directed Doomsday, and what it's going to be is right now, your opening scene. So you are the director of Doomsday. Mm-hmm. What is your opening scene?
Opening scene is Doom versus Loki. And that's where, like I said, because you got to think Doom, he's kind of like, he collects the power, like he gets power-ups by like defeating, like say, powerful beings and everything like that. And to get that magic, and we've seen him wielding green magic. We've seen Doom wielding green magic. And who's established green magic in the MCU? Loki. And like, especially if we're doing, you know what I'm saying, face changing technology and shit like that, Doom is going to beat Loki and take his magic, and like I said, his suit of armor starts getting certain things, you know what I'm saying, visuals and stuff like sigils, and stuff like that. So I do believe that if I directed Doomsday, my opening scene is Doom versus Loki, Doom overpowering Loki, taking his power, and that's setting off like, whoa, all right.
Okay, now give me the first death. Is it Loki?
No, I'm leaning now with Clint. I'm thinking it's Kane.
Okay, so that's your first death. If you were directing, that's what your first death would be. Is Kane.
Yep.
Okay, now give me your biggest cameo.
So I got a random theory, and it's just more so. I wouldn't say the biggest cameo, but it'd be the most unexpected. I think Halle Berry's Storm gonna pop up in here.
Okay.
And just to kind of give a backstory by it, Halle Berry started reflecting on Storm and everything like that randomly on Twitter. Started reflecting as her time on Storm, right? And then Chris Hemsworth was doing an interview, and somebody was like, Halle Berry told me to ask you why ain't Storm in in Doomsday, and then Halle Berry reposted that, was like, he knows why. And it was like, wait a minute, so you are actively talking about Storm in this Marvel MC universe? And I think that for me, that would be like, oh shit, I did not see that coming at all. That's my biggest cameo.
I think she does show up, but I'm curious if she shows up from a different timeline.
I definitely think it's gonna be a different timeline.
Yeah, but also now, you know what? I think it will be extra, because I don't see because again, we like to jump so far ahead. Mm-hmm. And then it's like the obvious one, and it's like, okay, but we don't know what happened to regular X-Men Storm. So it's like, why would you not show that?
Yeah.
Why would you not give us that? But one thing I would like to also see, just to throw it out there, I would like to see her in a different universe, married to a different Black Panther that's older. Like Denzel.
Yeah. Somebody said Denzel is currently around Comic-Con.
Yeah, and he's in the next movie too. Like he left Netflix a few months ago.
I think he's either a villain or I think he's Bass. I think he's the embodiment of Bass.
Okay,
but that's just me. But okay, so we're still in the direct to see the Deuce. What is your final shot of Doomsday?
Emperor Doom on the throne. One,
just panning out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But then give me your end credit scene.
So my end credit scene, that is, it's going to be a scene with the big guns. So like I said, to me, all the people are saying there's like, this person not in it, this person not in it. We haven't seen this person in the trailer and everything like that. I think that's when that's going to give us our signal that, all right, we got to get it together. So I think that's when I don't know which characters yet, but I'm like, you'll see, you know what I'm saying, Monica Rambeau, you'll see Beast, you'll see, you know what I'm saying, like you see the big dogs that you're like, oh shit, all right, now, you know what I'm saying, you see Wanda, you see Doctor Strange, maybe, like it just, whoever's going to be the big guns that we need to defeat Doctor Doom, that's who we're going to see.
Okay. All right. Now, Dion, we go over to you. You're in the director's chair. You are the director of Avengers Doomsday. We're in the writer's room. Walk us through. What is your opening scene?
Like we talked before, Doom taking out the Kangs. I want him to like walk into the arena. I don't know how we can get by without showing Jonathan Major's face. I don't know if we got the rights to that because we got him in old stuff. I don't know how you do that, but he just destroys all of them in there. And that goes into my first death is just all the Kangs. Like that's how we get rid of Kang out of this universe somehow. So yeah, that's my opening scene, and my first death is the Council of Kangs. Like I want the whole Coliseum, torched. Like how he's getting up in that trailer. That's the aftermath of everything that just happened. Cameo, long shot, but we got Gambit in there, right? Let's get Deadpool in here somehow. Let's have him make a cameo in this. A little levity too, obviously, but let's see if he can make a jump into this one. What was the next one?
Final shot.
Final shot. All the incursions, one universe. Like there's no more worlds. There's no more. It's just one. With Kang watching on, and then like Sue Storms comes up to stand behind him because he basically has rewritten everything. At least that's how it was in the comic book, right? So that's how my final shot would be him. So sort of like what Deuce said with him watching from his throne, but Sue's beside him, and there's just one Earth, man. There's no more universes.
That'll break everybody's mind. Seeing Sue, like we just established that the first family. Now she's already.
Because he takes everything. He took everything, man, from Mr. Fantastic. And then my after credit scene is like a Battle World team up. So it's sort of rounding the troops to sort of like how, and it might be because I watched Spider-Verse this weekend, but it's just how that ending was, where all the ones that were going to go help Miles, we just swing in and swing out. Whatever that team consists of, that's how I'm ending it. You know what? Let me set the team. I got Spider-Man in there. I got the new. Okay, damn. Now I'm rewriting. Oh god. Final shot. The X-Men, the new X-Men, and teaming up for Battle World.
Wait, is that the final shot or the
final shot? In credits, because I'm thinking too much because I want so much. You know,
he is overloaded right now. He's just.
So that would be that. I go that in credit showing like an epic, like X-Men stance to be my X-Men. And it's the new X-Men.
And that can lead us into Battle World somehow too. If we get that.
Also, you know what would be hilarious in your scenario? It'd be hilarious if Namor's only reason for joining the battle is like, bro, he took Stu before me. Because you know Namor also they also have a weird relationship. Namor be trying to get Stu as well. So I want
but it's gonna be so wild to like think about this because we got 4 months to think all this through again. This is obviously gonna change. Maybe by next week.
Absolutely.
If you had to put me in the driver's seat, man, I had two. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna stick with one opening scene because I know y'all went with Kang. I'm going with my opening scene is Reed talking to an old college roommate, and they're working on something. But you don't see this guy's face. You hear the voice though.
Yeah.
And you also hear him say the same line Tony says, but just a little bit of a different variation. I don't know how it would be phrased, but instead of a suit of armor around the world, it's this. But that's what causes conflict between him and Reed. And you start to establish the relationship between these two. We know who it is.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
They know. And you don't show that.
And that also hits exactly what Clint wants, because so now you get like
giving you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And then you know what it could be? It could be a shot where you see Reed and then you just see the guy's hand like this, and it's like, it is to deter a ultimate duel. And blacks out Marvel Studio credit. Start.
So who's your first death?
Man, you know who my first death is? Thor.
Thor got a kid now, man. We got to get him back to his kid. How about no one? How about that? How about no one?
Why mine gotta have nobody? First of all, y'all killing off the black people. Why y'all killing off the black people when you know we don't have a lot of them in here?
I killed another villain. Okay,
I said Thor. They lost their mind real quick. They were like, no. The one with a child. I'm like, wait, that's your biggest upset about this?
Yeah, man.
Tony had a kid. Y'all didn't care if he was gone. I heard no one say that. Oh,
Yes,
man.
we did.
How they kill him off?
Ooh, you know what? I'm not opposed to that because okay. So here's the thing: I keep on looking at these movies, right? As like, all right, obviously, like I said, they said it goes into like right after Endgame and everything like that. But like a good chunk of Infinity War and Endgame dealt with a self-loathing Thor, right? Now we dealing with a feared Thor, and I'm like, I get it. He was in that first trailer and we heard his speech, but again, it's like, is Thor the through line? So that we get him out, like, yeah, I'm not opposed to us getting him out because, like I said, it's like I get it because Thor's a guy, like, but it's like, how many times do we gotta hear Thor be scared or Thor be self-loathing or Thor be down and out? Like, we did it already.
And what better way to establish that even more than by going, hey, who am I? A god killer. So I'm going, the first one I take out is an actual god. That's my first step.
I'm not opposed to it, man. I'm not opposed.
Then you focus on everybody else because now it's okay. We're focusing on the new class and still this older class that's going on. And if you notice too in the trailer, you don't see Thor at that X match. You hear put your petty squabbles, and that could be him talking to Fantastic Four or talking to both Avengers teams. And they go on this mission, and Thor does not make it back.
Yeah, that could be first act fight because I do believe that fight happens early with the Stormbreaker, and it's like after that, I don't see Doom just tossing the Stormbreaker and then walking away from Thor. If he tossed Stormbreaker, that's a final fight, bro.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you think about it, who do you have left? Which is what you just said, Dion. Reed being the anchor, because who else is going to know about Doom other than Reed? And then also, you get the Council of Reeds, which means what if John Krasinski's Fantastic comes back?
Remember,
that was one version of one branch that got altered because of what Wanda did. So that's a now separate timeline, which means that other version does still exist somewhere.
Then in the comics there was an Illuminati before this, there was an Illuminati for 6162 that no one knew.
It was Black Panther, Namor, Reed.
I think Professor Cap was in there too because Cap was like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah. No, Cap wasn't in there. Cap and Black Panther. Cap and Black Panther refused to join the Illuminati because remember, this was during Civil War, and it was Iron Man's idea to send Hulk away to Planet Hulk, so he couldn't choose no one side.
Okay. Because I read somewhere where it's like, again,
there are different versions of the Illuminati.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing the two.
Yeah, they formed more than once. Because
Did we get one in this one though? Did we get a 616 Illuminati?
We didn't get. They didn't establish it, but they kind of left it in the air that there is one.
That's the thing. It's not supposed to. It's like Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Will, who's your biggest cameo?
Man, my biggest cameo. Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. My biggest cameo may not be as big to everybody else, bro. But my biggest cameo is, man, I want to see the Eternals.
Oh, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd be happy about
Bring them back.
I'm an Eternals movie defender, bro. So I definitely would love.
Because it's like you still, and then because it's just like if you're talking about X-Men and everything too, it's like, man, I want something back dealing with a celestial so we get back to Apocalypse.
Here's where to Clint's point of, you know what I'm saying, hand walking the people who are not as in-depth as us, right? I do believe that if they try to go the Beyonders route, that's a lot of explaining that they were going to have to reintroduce. I do believe that the Celestials take the place of, in this universe timeline, I think that we'll see Doom destroy them, and that's how he gets his power. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that we can see the Eternals in this one because that, like I said, that's what the MCU does a lot. They'll substitute one for another, so they kind of establish it. You know what I'm saying? So I do, like I said, that's how I think that'd be the substitute. The Celestials and Eternals is what Doom has to destroy, and that's what gets him, started on his journey.
But to be fair with that, I could see all of that being used to get to the Beyonders because we didn't think in Ragnarok we'd see Infinity. Like I was
That is
not
true.
expecting to see a live version of Infinity.
That is
So
true.
for them, and then two, you also got the aspect of the kids that might be getting taken during Doomsday. So Franklin, Love, all of them being collectively used
Yep.
to get to the Beyonder, which I still say should get played by Henry Cavill. Because you just need one. You don't need a bunch of them.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
use one. And then he kills him and then becomes God Emperor Doom. And that's really like my final shot. My final shot is looking on his kingdom of new battle world. So it can go from the throne getting up, and you see two things. Sue and Scarlet Witch is the Latverian witch now.
Ooh.
And she got
Well, we saw the costume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we saw her sigils on his shoulder.
which
Like
again,
her runes that she had, her protection spell, like
Yep.
those runes was actually on his armor.
which is why I say you don't learn all of that till Secret Wars, because then again, there's so much about him and how he got his powers. You can't tell X-Men, tell Avengers, and then tell how we moving into the next story all in 3 hours. There's
So what's your end credit scene then? Because that's a powerful final shot.
Yeah, my end credit scene is kind of similar to Dion's. It's going to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and a few group of other people who knows something is wrong. So they're the resistance in it. But it's not going to be who everybody thinks. I think it's going to be a handful. I think it's going to be him. I think it's going to be Wolverine, Deadpool, and then a few of the young Avengers and Spider-Man.
You know what? Here's also what makes your final shot so powerful. For the most part, we've had superhero team, major villain, and his minions. What we haven't got was superhero team, super villain team. So if you show Doom with a possessed or a different version of
Squad,
Sue, and then also fucking Scarlet Witch, who we know is a fucking Omega level mutant, bro, that also establishes like, wait, we lost, but we are even in a worse state. Like with Thanos, we lost and it seemed finite. It was just like, wait, niggas is just gone. But if we lose like this, and then you also see a OP squad, it's like, bro, what is Secret World about to be? How do we even win this?
Yep, and I didn't throw in Strange either standing right there.
Yeah, but yeah.
And you walk out and he addressing all his people of Battle World, but those are the people that don't remember. I like, hey, that's how you lead in the Secret Wars right there. And then that's how you tell Strange's backstory with everything that goes on, because you figure out like everything else he's done to people, like to change into Battle World, because we know Reed is probably locked up somewhere being tortured.
Like, I'm anxious to see how, because we know they cherry pick stuff, right? Like from the comics, right? And then massage it and maneuver it into something different. Because like with Battle World, like, or at least like the one universe, every sort of like, I guess you say state or whatever was like a different sort of universe or timeline, right?
Yeah.
Even though it was one world, like you cross over into the next city, you could be in like the 1950s or something. Or you know, so I'm anxious to see how they do that, because Doom just completely sort of rewrites history and nobody remembers the world before him. So he's like the guy. You're here because of him. So I'm anxious to see which people, which set of superheroes are like, wait a minute, something's not right here. Or like, hey, we didn't do this. Or I want to see how they get to that point, or if they even touch on Doom sort of rewriting.
I feel like you will, because I feel like he's gonna learn from the mistakes of others, which is why I also think we're gonna get in Secret Wars the part where Doom rips out Thanos' spine and stuff.
They keep
because
killing him in What If.
Because if you think about it, too, you can't erase everybody's stuff, and that's the thing I feel like has been the constant like through line of what they're talking about, even with Brand New Day. Remember how they've always been running about? There's one person that remembers Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and it's like, so it's always to show you everything that you try to set into a motion will always have a crack in it, which means all of this can be done by what Doom is saying, but because Doom is also very petty, there's going to be cracks in this. So I could see like Valkyrie being a surviving member here. I can see Hulk being a surviving person here. Again, I can see both Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man, actually, if you want to be honest with it, all the Spider-Man, and as well as a Wolverine, a Deadpool, and a few other Avengers, like even Ant-Man. Like I don't, you know, like the fact Ant-Man is still surviving all of this is just amazing to me.
But it makes sense too, because you got to think there's a lot of people who have universes within universes, like the Spider-Verse, the whatever universe that Ant-Man goes in. Like I said, Hulk be off-world, you know, Doctor. And then, like I said, it also makes sense also with Strange being the undervillain. You got to think with Doom seeing everything once he takes out Loki, or you know what I'm saying, even establish that, like even Loki being outside of time and space, but it was like he sees everything, meaning that he saw when Strange did the you know what I'm saying, did the spell for Peter. He saw what Wanda did, you know what I'm saying, in Multiverse of Madness and Dreamwalk and everything. He's seeing the Spider-Verse happen and everything like that. So you got to think for Strange, if he wants to, you know what I'm saying, rewrite everything, for Doom, if he wants to rewrite everything, he's going to tap Strange like, hey, whatever you did, I need to do that on a larger scale. So now I need you to be like, whatever I need to do, now you on my side. Also, Scarlet Witch, I saw you was able to walk between universes and everything. I need you on my side. Like, I can see him building this all-powerful team because of it fits his narrative of what he wants. I want to rule, but also want everybody to forget about their own universes. I need them to think that this is the only one. And
again, that may not work everywhere, and then that's where you see the cleanup part. Get with the Thanos fight, like, and also too, this is one of those times in Secret Wars where, and Doomsday, you're opening this moment you can have to swap things out and not give a full explanation. Like, imagine in Secret Wars with people in Battle World, and like we'll call them the Resistance, the Avengers. We'll say that. Getting together, but they're from different universes, and it's just like, okay, like imagine one of them going like, yeah, okay, we just need more help, and like, you know what, I got someone who's kind of a strategist and stuff that may be able to help with us, and it's like, who do you have in mind? You're like, I'd have to look for him, but he goes by Nick Fury, and it's just like, oh snap, so Sam survived, and then again though, this from a different timeline, and then the white version with the eye patch. Who was this? Nick Fury. What? And then it's like, yo, we gonna get David Hasselhoff. Yeah, because again, you don't have to explain it because it's Secret World. So we don't have to explain where he come from. We don't have to explain his story. It's just like, oh snap! If you know, you know. That's the original Nick Fury. Now again, it don't have to stay like that. Because he could die in Secret Wars. And when we finally get our official timeline, who knows what Nick Fury we get.
True.
But this is the times where you get to play with stuff like that because of what Doomsday is leading to. But because we did bring that up, though, I want us to do a little Marvel draft.
Okay.
We talked about our end credits all kind of go around each other where it's